right, just so you know, I am going to record this only because I'm using the GarageBand way now instead of the kind of crappy way I was doing it before. So I just want to see if
Are you
this
on a Mac?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I sense judgment there.
No, I didn't realize Matt had a Mac.
it was Dad's Mac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm using that way now because it's a little better. Because now it's gonna be like editable.
So are you back in On Sound now, Matt, or
Not
are you in
Wait,
Milton still?
I'm
gonna
still in
interrupt.
Milton.
Lenny, are you talking? Because it sounds like someone's in the bottom of a well. Is that you? Or am I getting?
Hold on. What?
You're halfway up the well now.
No, I think something happened.
Sorry, Carrie's talking to me. I was trying to listen to her and listen to you guys. So
Well, don't listen to her.
don't listen to her. What does she even say?
You have to listen to her all the time. Just tell her this is your time.
this is our time.
Yeah.
This is our time down here.
You're not allowed in this room.
The only other thing I'll add for the cards, though, is I've been watching matches of Game of Thrones 2nd edition. I think you're going to like it, Matt.
Sweet. It's going to be on my birthday list. Which you'll have to get me, Scott, because now you're going to be the only one that lives in Toronto.
That's true. The other thing that impressed me, though, is that I think they've learned from each one they've done, because they've come up with a thing called a Kingslayer format. So what you basically do is if you have only one core, you just pick 2 factions, and then you can put them together, and that's how you play. But they actually have a card that says what affiliation you have with you. So if you're like Lannister, Stark, which would never happen, or Greyjoy,
Well,
Knights.
you'd be like
Greyjoy
Wall
Martell.
Stark, though. The Watch Wall Stark.
Night Watch.
Yeah, the Night's Watch.
Watch. Yeah.
Night's Watch.
I was having a little moment. I couldn't. Also, I'm using my loud keyboard, so that's what that noise is. Because it's the only one I got.
No.
Is Lenny telling us no?
The other one we talked
No,
about
I
was
think he's talking to Carrie again.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
No.
don't come in here, Carrie. I think
Putting his foot down. The foot is down.
wow.
No one else has seen Inside Out, apparently. Okay.
No, I want to, but I don't want to go by myself to see that movie.
What
Fair
movie?
enough. Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Which
The
one's
new
Inside?
Pixar movie.
Oh,
I'm surprised it didn't take Zoe to see it.
Well, we're working up to that. We watched Frozen, and we watched
Yeah.
Big Hero 6, and we're gonna watch Tangled.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, I love
And you guys watch Hellraiser.
That would be awesome.
I watched.
We'll just like crank it up to 11. Okay, so
Yeah,
you watch
exactly.
Frozen, now try this.
Yeah.
You know what though? She's so random about what she's terrified of, right? Like
She'd probably be all right with it.
a whole
Possibly.
That guy's got pins in his head. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. I wonder if that hurts him.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone who has pins in their head like that, Daddy?
The questions is going to be the harder part.
Yeah.
That's the harder of everything. Although, if you want inspiration, apparently Chaos is inspired by that. Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry. The other thing we talked about, Shane, was that I won Devil's Attorney.
Oh, speaking of which, I totally beat Gardenscapes 2. I'm going to put it on my list. That's number 2.
What game?
Gardenscapes. Or no. What is it?
Gardenscapes.
I forget the name of the game. But it's that... it's
Did
just
you
like
take
that item find game on the iPad.
Oh, cool. Like a hidden object game.
Yeah, hidden object game.
game in your
Nice.
All right.
That's a game.
All right.
I'm gonna count it. So that's a big
Why are you
two.
why are you so sexist?
What? Why am I sexist if I... That doesn't make any sense.
Found Objects has a very high female demographic that watches and plays them.
Oh.
And keeps the genre alive.
Well, I don't think the fact that I didn't know that means...
I don't think that makes me sexist.
If anything, you could say that I was ignorant, not sexist. I'd much rather be ignorant than sexist.
On the higher
imagine if you were...
Ignorance is not an excuse, Matt.
Dang it.
I need to make a post as I also finished a game. I finished the solo campaign of Magic Duels Origins.
Oh, I just started that today.
Is that an iPad game?
It's on iPad, but it's also on Steam.
Of course,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not a bad game.
Is that the one that you play like constantly?
Yeah.
Okay. Or is it like
Well, so
Skyforge or something?
No, well, I play Soulforge a lot too.
Soulforge, that's the one.
But Soulforge doesn't really have a single player campaign. It has. They finally put out some quests that you can do, but it's not really a campaign per se.
Oh, okay.
So,
Like a
Magic Duels Origins is the replacement for the Duels of the Planeswalkers games that they used to put out on a yearly basis.
Oh, okay.
But now,
It's way better.
yeah,
Like,
well, this is the new version, but it's also free to play, and they're not going to do it yearly anymore. It's like this is the code base that they're going to use going forward, and they're just going to bring out new card sets every time there's a physical card set release.
Yeah, I like the new one. The only thing that I've only done, like, I'm in the first one, the guy from Ankron, whatever his name is.
Gideon Jura,
Yeah, Gideon Jura from
the
Archon.
White Mage.
Yeah. So I've done Archon. Isn't it?
I think it's Akros, but anyways.
Akron, tomato. And so anyway, I've played a couple, and the only problem I've had, which is just me getting used to it, is that instants happen so quick.
Yes.
You're like, I gotta do this now.
Well, you have to get ready to hit that stop timer button in the bottom corner.
Oh, you can stop the timer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
That changes
when they go to play an
everything.
instant, you'll see in the bottom corner there's a stop timer, and there's a line that goes around the circle or reduces around the circle, and that's how much time you have to either do something or hit stop timer, and then you can do something.
Well, that was what I was worried about because, as you know, I struggle with these games sometimes, and so I was like, I sometimes have to stop and think about where I want to put what, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
just
gonna be.
just look for the stop timer, hit that, and you can take as much time as you want to think.
Yeah. So.
It's very handy.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Because there are a couple times where I feel like you should be able to set if you want the timer to go faster or slower. Because I find after they assign blockers, there's almost no time to play instants, and that's the time when I always want to play my instants.
Well,
And yet there are other times when it's like it takes the game. It seems to give the game like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, no one's doing anything here. Why are you taking so much time?
Yeah. It's like it's trying to trip you up.
Yeah.
Jerk computer. So yeah,
Oh man, there are a couple matches later on where I'm like, oh man, how am I ever gonna win this? And then it comes together, and then you're like, yeah, I beat the computer, but it's just the computer.
Yeah, the computer could technically beat you at any moment, really.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna magically have all these cards.
It sure feels like it sometimes. You know, it's like, oh, the computer had the one exact card he needed to stop me this turn. Okay, well, next turn I'll be okay. Nope, he had the right card, he needed to stop me that turn. Oh, and look, he's got the right card where he needs to win the game.
Oh, so it's like playing you. Oh, I'll be fine.
Shane's
I'm
a
used to
computer?
that. Oh, it's just like Shane's here.
It's awkward now.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm a little joking.
Yeah,
Someday-
I'm like, I don't know how
did-
much
I
you're
did-
joking there.
I did pull a lucky Prince Izor in our first match, and that was the turning point of that game.
TSN turning point.
The total TSN turning point.
Well, no, the TSN turning point was when I did the Rebel Assault on your trickety trick objective.
That's true.
Put back up in your hand. Whereas if I'd actually put it on the Hunter, which was right beside it, then I would have been able to destroy that with just one ship rather than sending in overcompensating by sending 3 in.
Yep.
That was also. Oh, sorry. So you're gonna say? Did you have any comment on Origins? You're happy with it? Are you gonna keep playing it?
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna keep playing it because it's a collecting game, so I have to collect more cards because my white deck isn't quite good enough yet. I found that so far the cards have really slowed the game down a lot, which in one way is good, but then another way it's bad because eventually it turns into the who draws a better card is gonna win the game, which in some ways is good because then it puts the focus on deck building, but then in some cases it's bad because you're just basically, you feel like the cards are basically playing themselves at that point.
I haven't looked at the battle. Is there a draft in the battle? Like if I go online to play against you, can we do like a draft?
I don't know. We'll have to check it out. I don't think there is, but
because that's the big.
I don't know.
That's the big equalizer that the Magic came up with for that, right?
Yeah, and that's why I think one of the reasons why Hearthstone is so popular is because they basically have a mode where you go in and you draft a set of cards, and then you use that to play against people who have also drafted. So it's a bit more fair rather than going against someone who spends tons of money to buy all the best cards and then plays legendary after legendary after legendary on you. I mean, I'm not bitter.
Should man, that triple triad really has got to come out because it's pretty good.
Which game was that from, Matt?
It was from Final Fantasy VIII, but they brought it.
Okay.
They brought it back to Final Fantasy XIV, so you could play other players online with it.
Oh, that's cool.
But they were gonna make a mobile version of the game, so like you could play like mobile. You could play mobile people could play Final Fantasy player like 14 players or other mobile players.
Nice.
But it hasn't really come out yet. It's come out on 14, but it hasn't come out on
I've just realized that Lenny didn't give us his review of the Found Object game that he played.
This is true.
I think he.
Okay. Review. The one thing I didn't like about it,
the
even if you
are hard to find.
Well, some of them are hard to find, but in the mode that I was playing, even if you don't find all the objects, you still move on to the next thing. You just don't get as much currency to purchase furniture for your mansion.
Oh,
so
really?
this was on iOS, right?
Yes.
What's
Okay.
it called?
Is that the one that Mum plays too?
Yep. That's the same one. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's called Gardenscapes 2.
What's the plot?
Do you think there
The
was?
the plot is so the Gardenscapes 1 you had to find all the objects, and as you find all the objects, you get money, and with money you purchase things to fix up your garden. And so Gardenscapes 2, I think it's called Gardenscapes 2 Mansion Makeover. So you then move inside the mansion and fix it up.
Wow. So you're like a house flipper.
Kind of, but
Yeah, but you kind of did it backwards.
yeah, I would.
Don't you do the house first, then the garden?
Usually, you would think you would, but they
Unless
apparently
you don't own the house.
Yeah.
You're just trying to.
Wait, you own the garden, but not the house?
Well, no, you start off trying to convince it. Yeah, you own the property, but not the building on itself. And then finally, your lawyer is able to wrestle away the house from the deed owner, and then you can finally do what you always wanted to do, which is to fix up the mansion.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know what?
if you watch Devil's Attorney, he could totally make that case happen.
I don't know what I'll do, but I don't think I'll. I don't know what I was gonna say.
You're
You
not
don't
gonna.
think you're gonna
I don't think
invest
I'll
the
play that
time
one.
into Gardenscapes?
No, I don't know about court games in general. I
Oh,
don't
you mean
know.
Devil's Attorney?
Devil's
Yeah,
Attorney.
Devil's Attorney.
It's Final Fantasy dressed up in 80s bad sitcom. So
Yeah,
there's a
but-
lot. It was pretty funny.
So Matt, you're not gonna play Danganronpa?
No, no. I was thinking about it, but it kind of. The more I looked at it, the more I was like, I don't know if I'm.
I don't know what Danganronpa is.
It's pretty much a high school murder mystery.
Yeah, but they do a sort of trial-like thing
Yeah.
to try to determine who is the guilty party.
I think I'll play Danganronpa when I get it out of my head that that it's not Persona, because like I played Persona 4 Golden and I freaking loved it, and then someone described Danganronpa like that, but then
Really?
the more I saw it, the more that it was
No.
totally not it at all, right?
It's totally not. It's completely different.
Yeah, I think he meant like the style, like the theme, like the characters and such. Like it's
Maybe,
very
but
it's
not
very
really.
Japanese, but not like
Well, it is very Japanese, but it's also
Wait. You're saying that both games are Asian?
yeah. Exactly. That's right. They are definitely Asian games.
Yes, that is factually correct.
Yeah. I
But-
just saw. Yeah, I
But
was.
Matt, you just missed it because I should have told you they were on sale last week for the
Oh, the flash sale.
the summer sale.
Oh, the summer sale.
Well, that's because we haven't had a podcast, so we don't have Tony searching Steam for us.
Well, this wasn't
But it
Steam. This was
yeah,
on
it
the
was
PlayStation Network.
Oh, well, Tony would fail.
Which,
us.
by the way, you guys need to download. I think it's this month. Lara Croft and the
Yes,
Temple
I
of Osiris.
Already got it downloaded.
Scott, you need to download it. It
All
looks
right.
like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so. It would be something we could play together.
Yeah, you can play it.
Oh, that's. I was gonna say one thing we need to do is we need to do Drive Club.
Oh yeah, that is true. We do, and Minecraft.
And Rocket League.
And Rocket League. I haven't even played it yet, but it looks so fun.
I played it as Scott. It's awesome.
Yeah, when I was busy ready to choke Ben, the life out of Ben, because he wouldn't go to bed, Shane was having a great. And then I couldn't even
Should
put
have had
to
him
bed,
play.
so I brought him down. Well, so I brought him down to the basement and I downloaded it, right? And we come down and Ben's all excited because he's like, "Boom!
Oh yeah, blue
Oh,
truck, blue truck.
Oh yeah, I guess it
That
was.
was hilarious.
Yeah, he really likes games. I can
Oh
tell.
yeah, they love the
Well,
videos. Although he
yeah.
finds Little Pony kind of scary.
Yeah, but
Which is-
he liked it because it was a truck, right? So he loves cars and trucks.
Mhm.
Yeah. But everyone was kind of making jokes about it. But then when I came to sat down to calm him down, right? It's this Minotaur centaur thing is like destroying the land, sucking the color out of all the ponies, and is like wrecking things and is talking in a gruff voice, and then he drains the energy out of Discord, which is this
Yeah,
funny.
the new My Little Pony is crazy.
Yeah. But it's just like I'm like, of course he's terrified. He doesn't realize that this town's gonna be fine. Like, he can't tell the difference between
Well, the one that I was watching was Zoe. Like, it was crazy. She was having the main pony person, whoever it is, was having this crazy battle with this huge, like, beast of some sort. And it was, crazy powers were happening and, like, huge mountains were being destroyed. I'm like, this is not the My Little Pony that I remember.
But Zoe loves it.
Yeah, well, it's colorful, too.
Yeah.
And she is a fan
It's
of
better
epic
than-
fighting.
It's better than a lot of those girl shows. That's all I gotta say. Like,
Well, she's gonna totally be a geek just by association.
You never know. She's allowed to be whatever she wants to be.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but like she's got your genes in her, so.
Well, the culture's moved too, right? Like it's not
A faux pas.
It's become mainstream, right?
Yeah.
Although I would argue the dressings of geek have become mainstream. Like I don't feel it's any easier to convince people to play the harder games like Star Wars or Conquest or Twilight Imperium or
Yeah.
or Zombicide or stuff like that. It's a little like when I play with my board game group at lunch, like they all want to try games because they're game people, but we tend to play a bit more on the lighter side, only because two of the people don't.
Time constraints too, right?
Yeah, time constraints. Smash Up is probably the top end and Lords of Waterdeep are probably the two that we really.
Oh man, sorry, it just came to my head. I was watching the tabletop with was it Mouses and something?
Mouse and Mystics.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
Was that today's?
Today's, yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched
It was
it
just
yet.
part 1, but it's just like it's adorable. He plays with his family.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I've heard. It's funny because it's one of those things where you have to take what game reviewers say with a grain of salt. Most game reviewers have played Descent, and they're obsessed with it, right?
Descent,
so-
like the game or the video
Descent.
game?
No, Descent, the board game.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought
so
you were talking about the sweet aerial combat game.
no, I'm talking about the clunky, rule-heavy, miniature dungeon crawling game. But anyway, so a lot of reviewers didn't like Mice and Mystics because they felt it was kind of simplistic, and then I realized when I was reading the reviews, I'm like, these guys have all played like Descent campaigns, so of course they're not going to like this game. Of course, this game's going to come across as simple to them because they've played Descent, right?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. I want to watch that video because it was interesting to see what the game how it actually plays out.
It's also like same thing with video games too. Like on IGN, like the games that I like now like are pretty much Final Fantasy games and like adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't like adventure games because they find them simple and not like super interactive and stuff like that. But I'm more in it for the story now, right? So like they give a lot of games that just have like more story instead of actually game stuff. They give them lower scores. Except for one
if
guy.
you like story, Matt, you need to play Danganronpa because it's awesome and crazy, but it's a really good story.
Oh yeah? All right.
And then when you're done that, play Devil's Attorney.
God.
And that was an iOS game too, right, Scott?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm joking about. Like all the games I get done are iOS ones because I can sit at lunch. Probably the next game I'm going to finish is either going to be that Magic's Origin or it's going to be Papers, Please. Unless Papers, Please.
Oh, Scott.
What?
Why are you playing Papers, Please?
What's wrong with Papers, Please?
Yeah, nothing. It's just that I used to do that. That used to be my... Well, I wasn't a customs guy, but I was the shipper guy, so I had to make
it was
my
very
paper.
similar, yeah.
Yeah, I was on the other end making the paperwork to make sure that they could
Right.
get across the border.
Oh, so you're like the guy who tries to sneak in his
Yeah.
Fake pass.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
so
really legit. You gotta believe me.
I was like, oh man, I can't play a game where I literally was the guy trying to be the guy to make it
Yeah,
across
to
the
sneak
border.
stuff past. That's awesome.
I was like, oh man. I might be able to make peace with it one day, but if there's a Paper Please 2, maybe. But
No. Well, do you want me to do device 6 instead? Would that make you feel better, man?
I got Device 6 and I never really played it. too much.
It's a mind-bending puzzle game. So.
Yeah. No, the next games I'm gonna beat are
To
either
bring it back to card games, it's like a turn 4 of Star Wars the LCG with Shane, where you're like, it's super complicated and there's a lot of stuff on the board and his hands is full of stuff and you don't know what's going to happen. Like that. Or like Warhammer Conquest when you attack with the Tau.
That's a little better for me to understand. But yeah, the next games I'm gonna beat are either King's Quest.
Oh yeah, that looks really good.
I'm about halfway through it. It's hilarious. It's like super old school, like very a tribute to the original King's Quest, which is great. Like a lot of that old
Christopher Lloyd as a voiceover.
Oh yeah, and like all the stuff that like he narrates while you're playing is great.
Yeah.
But either that or I just got Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, and it is very good, very scary.
Do you know?
What are you talking about? Everybody's Gone to Rapture?
Yeah.
It has a run, eh?
Yeah. I figured it out.
Okay.
It's not a good run, and it only works when you're outside. Like when you're in a house looking through stuff, it doesn't work. It's just,
Okay.
But like when you're outside, it's a very slow. It's a gradual speed up. It takes 7 seconds to go from a walk to a jog, and even when you're running, it's still slow. But like it's fine because it adds to the immersion of like
It's the same team that did Dear Esther, right?
yeah.
I like Dear Esther.
Only
I wouldn't say Dear Esther was a game, but it was still good.
yeah, it presents itself much better than Dear Esther does.
Because you'd hope so. It's their second game. Right?
Yeah, like it does. Well, it's not just the Dear Esther guys; it's the guys that did Amnesia as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like both of them made this game.
So, I got that's a game I should sit and finish.
What,
Amnesia.
Dear Esther or Amnesia?
I liked Amnesia. I've only, as I said, I haven't gotten too far, but
Yeah, I don't think I have. I don't even think I have it on Steam.
I haven't decided if it's a game where, well, maybe Lenny has gotten further than me. Whether it's a game where you're better just to run like a madman, like you are being chased by the hounds of hell, or if it makes more sense to sneak.
I think you have to sneak. I don't think you can just run like hell.
I think that'd be too scary. Amnesia might be too scary.
I'm trying to finish GTA 5.
Yeah, I saw you're on there a lot
Yeah.
playing that.
It's going to take forever because I get sidetracked. I'm like, hey, this would be fun if I did this.
It's like,
And
I
then
wonder if I can make it onto that building.
Yeah. I wonder if I could like hit a cool jump and then just land it right on the roof.
I'm also super close to beating Arkham Knight.
Beating which?
Arkham Knight.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that game literally forces you to do all the side quests.
I'm Batman.
It was great though. Like, man, like story, like to do the story in that game is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
Like just the tricks that they did. I was like really impressed with just like, oh man, like, you know, developing that like seems really cool. Like, I wonder how they did that.
Huh.
The Batgirl downloadable content looked interesting, but I still have to finish Gotham Arkham City, so which didn't.
Yeah, I never finished Arkham City, and I just skipped it and went because I'm a rebel. You can't stop me.
The Batman.
I think my next game that I will finish probably will be the game that I picked up on the PSN Summer Sale, which is the PSP game Disgaea 2.
Oh,
Because,
nice.
you know, I need to play every Disgaea game, so.
I don't know anybody who just plays every single version of a game. I can't think of anybody.
Man.
If I could just think of someone who might own 25 copies of Final Fantasy X and X-2.
I don't. It's
I
not
can't-
25. It's only
4?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. 4. Yeah, it's 4 copies.
Because I own 2, so. I'm halfway there.
Yeah.
So you have enough for all your nieces and nephews.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh no, I could give them one. Or, two of them I can give. Well, because I got the digital copy of the PS4, so I can't give that one away. And then I got the digital copy of the Vita one as well. So I can only give 2 of them away. And one of them's going to be way crappier looking than the other.
So
Depending on what TV you put it on.
It would be households then, if you only have 2.
Yes, I could do that. I could do households.
When are you gonna book time for a Final Fantasy session with Zoe? Because you've already got her on the Minecraft.
Yes, I'm super excited. I just got to figure out what Final Fantasy will hook her.
Does she actually, like, when you guys are doing the Minecraft, like, is she
10 will hook her.
Yeah, 10 will be good because it's pretty as well.
I don't know. 10-2.
No,
10-2 is a little crazy.
You need the context of 10 to do 10-2.
I'm sure she doesn't care about that.
Yeah, no, she gets to. You can collect costumes.
Yeah,
this is true. Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
yes, you can, and you get to choose what they dress up as.
I think she's not ready because I think the pacing
The
of
pacing
getting
was
into the
not
costumes
young
won't be
dress
good
up.
enough.
Yeah.
So when she watched,
10-2 had a wicked fast combat system.
Yeah, 10-2's
Like, that's the
combat
one thing that
system
gets-
was awesome.
Yeah, that's the one thing that gets overlooked. Is that the ATV in that was really well done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
although it's like the Taco Koro syndrome thing. If you're gonna have a game with girls not wearing much, you really have to have a good system underneath so that when people are playing it, they can say, well, no, it's got a very dynamic building combat system.
No, the funny thing is about Final Fantasy is that Final Fantasy doesn't care. Final Fantasy's like, all right, the guys are going to also be naked and the girls. Both of them.
Yeah, that was
What
smart.
about, what is it, Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dead or Alive 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, no, to answer your question, Scott, about Minecraft, is that she doesn't really, like, she doesn't have the dexterity yet to do, like, placing things down and stuff like that.
But I was more wondering if she was engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like, and she wanted different things and stuff like that, and, like, she was all over the place of what she wanted.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. No, she was engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if. Yeah, 10 would be the best, but I think she needs to be a little older, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, not too much.
So, slightly related, but a little bit changing topics. Matt, have you got Windows 10 yet on your PC?
I have not.
Okay.
But Lenny has, right, Lenny?
I am looking at it currently.
Like,
Because I was just curious if you did, and if you noticed any difference in Final Fantasy 13 on Steam after Windows 10.
I would not know because Final Fantasy 13 is on my PS3.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wondered if Matt had Windows 10 yet.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't done it because I'm afraid. Actually, the reason why I'm not is because I'm playing Final Fantasy 11 now with Tony.
Right.
And I'm afraid to see if because it might not work. Like, because it's an older game, right? So I'm worried that once we go to 10, it's not going to work.
If I had to, I mean, this doesn't really answer any of your questions, but if I had to give my opinion on what Windows 10 was, I would say it's mostly like a UI overhaul, but it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And the spying stuff, right?
Well,
you can
that's
turn
any
that all off.
that's any Windows operating system, really.
That's
Or
true.
web browser or any program really ever now. So
Yeah.
What if you didn't connect to the internet? They can't.
then they wouldn't get anything from you.
But when you hooked back up,
when you turn it on, it
it'll
then
send everything.
It sends a signal that's not on the internet, and then a team of Microsoft Combat commandos filter into your backyard or wherever you live, and they watch you.
They only watch you? Why are they combat commandos if they're only watching?
Because
in case something went down.
Yeah,
I feel like there should be like rappelling down the from the roof and then smashing through the window. And
Lenny, you're connected to the internet, right? So you don't know what happens to Windows when it's not connected to the internet.
That's true.
I was going
Probably
to
just
say that
doesn't
if
work.
you weren't connected to the internet, you'd probably be very bored most of the time.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
the internet is amazing. Did you guys see the Final Fantasy 15 teaser story trailer?
No, I did see the Doctor
No.
Who teaser trailer though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome.
I think I saw that one too.
There's two of them now.
Oh, I think I've only seen one.
I saw the second one.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first one, I don't think. I saw the new
The one
one
with
though.
the girl from Game of Thrones is in it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, then I did see that one.
That's the first one, but now there's another one.
Oh.
She's very briefly in the second one
Yeah.
for like one shot.
Is
Yeah.
it probably the same shot, right?
I don't know.
Like the hey, look, you're the doctor, and it's like, hey, you're that girl that kills everyone in that show.
And then she would retort, everyone kills everybody in that show.
Yeah, that's true.
More specific?
I did see the Marlboro trailer for Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
It looks so good. I'm starting to get really excited about it because they're very well. First of all, they're very worried about their fans, so it's going to be good. That's why the game's taken forever.
I'm only leery because they've got cars, and that gives me a flashback to Final Fantasy VIII, which is just made me so angry.
But Matt, you played episode Disque, right?
Yes, yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Actually, I really liked it.
What about this guy?
No, hold on. I played the version 2.0. And
Oh, yeah?
it smoothed everything out too. Because the only concern
Nice.
I had is that it was like running a little clunky.
Yeah.
But the 2.0, it was running like smooth like butter. And then like the way the summons work in the game.
So
oh
wait,
my
warm
God.
butter? Wait, warm butter or
Yeah.
butter just from the fridge?
No, warm butter. Fridge
Okay.
butter, no. You were 1.0 what ran like
When
fridge
we
butter.
we really need to, when we do reviews, we totally have to use fridge butter, room temperature butter.
Well,
Or
what of
microwave
how
And
well it
microwave
runs?
Butter.
It's
That'll be
like-
that'll be the rating.
No,
Yeah.
it'd be the optimization, like the how well it runs.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
I think it'd be funny if we're reviewing something and then
it's like warm butter.
it's like I'll give this a fridge butter.
Yeah. I like that. The butterometer.
So anything that's like hard.
So anything that like is like unplayable is frozen butter,
Yeah.
and
Or
then
spoiled butter.
This thing plays like frozen butter. Anyone else notice?
Oh, this is just terrible. I can't. It takes me forever to get it off. Then
it reminds me of the.
Yeah, when I try to like spread it on stuff, it like rips holes in it.
It was funny because I saw this explaining D&D stats by using a tomato.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was like strength is how easily you could crush a potato or crush a tomato, and it's like dexterity is how easily you could dodge a tomato if it was thrown at you. And it's like constitution is how well you can handle eating a spoiled tomato.
That's awesome.
It was really good. It was like
How did they do willpower?
willpower was
not eating a tomato.
Resisting the urge to eat a tomato. If someone else is tempting you to say, "Here,
Well,
eat this
resisting it.
tomato."
I can't remember. Actually, I guess the only one I get. But wisdom was like wisdom is the knowledge of knowing to make make a fruit salad from it or something like that. And then
Knowing different
intelligence
types
was
of
knowing that tomato was a fruit.
Yeah.
and then charisma was your ability to convince other people to eat a tomato. It was
That's
great.
something in D&D fantasy worlds. Like I know it sounds silly, but like I really want to play some role playing games again. But because I was always fascinated by that sort of stuff. Like, does the world have tomatoes? Like, and if so, were they from somewhere else and then they got there? Like whenever people do medieval campaign settings, like if there's any like tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, pepper, like all these spices, they wouldn't be there, right? Like they wouldn't have any of them.
Yeah, but I think like all fantasy worlds like pull from real world things.
Are there
right?
tomatoes in Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Where do they grow? Because most of the places are pretty dry.
In Final Fantasy?
Yeah, they're tropical. Or they're either like island tropical where you can't grow tomatoes very easily, or they're like mountain deserts and stuff, right?
Well, no. It has all climates. Well, it
Oh,
depends. Like Final
Okay.
Fantasy X is tropical.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
I guess they could grow tomatoes there.
But
It
if
just-
you look at the bigger ones, like, you know, in Final Fantasy 11 and 14, which is the online ones, their worlds are a lot bigger, and you have all different types of climate.
The one thing about the Final Fantasies, though, and that's just actually MMOs in general, maybe I haven't played enough MMOs, but there's never fields of crop.
Yeah, there is.
Is
In
there
11, there is.
Is there in 11? Okay.
Yeah, in 11, they actually have one called Rollenberry Fields, which is it's all of their orchards for. They got berries, and then they have an orchard for apples and stuff like that. But the whole area is farm.
I guess I'm glad they fixed that.
Well, that's really the only area that has farm, though.
Oh,
In the entire planet.
so they feed everybody.
They feel it. Everyone. Rollenberries for everyone. No, I'm trying to remember. I'm like Final Fantasy 14 has a farm as well. Yeah,
Well,
there's
I can understand if they have one farm. I'm just saying if you take the population of a Final Fantasy world,
Mhm.
there would have to be considerably large size farms, right? Like there'd have to be like a California with like
yeah, but the problem is, Scott, and this is a common thing with video games in general, is that you have to sacrifice realism for playability. So, like, if you had like a California-sized state and it was just all farmland, like it wouldn't be, unless you had a fast way to travel through it. Like, it's kind of pointless to have there.
Well, no, obviously the monsters would attack the farmland.
So you would need to protect the farmland.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think there is something like that in 14 because there's the Summerfold farms, which is the like the pastures, which deal with sheep and the animals and stuff like that. Then there's the other farm, which is like Hastings Farm or something like that, which is crops. But that's only on one island on the whole planet. I don't think there's farms because like Ul'dah is in the desert. So there's not any farms there. And then Gridania has farms as well, which is in the forest. But it's mostly crops. It doesn't have any animal farms.
Gotcha.
and then Ishgard's up in the snow, so there's no crops up there.
Yeah.
And that's your knowledge about the ecosystem of Final Fantasy 14.
There you go. Disgaea
I like it.
Disgaea doesn't have that. Oh, Lenny, you still there?
Yep.
Sorry, before I forget, I don't know if I don't think we should keep pursuing L5R.
Okay.
Even though because I watched some matches where if you actually get more cards, and it becomes very complicated and a very counter, I counter, and then I counter your counter, and then I counter your counter, and then counter, and then you counter and you counter and you're done.
Just like that, eh? And you counter and you counter and you're done.
Well, they say the names. I can't say it's like I will Sushai you, well, then I will Imperial Favor that, well, then I will Dark Times that, and then I will do Surprise Visitor on that, and then I will bow this temple and these two markets to have this happen so that, just to have Sunthar's Wrath happen so that doesn't happen. But wait, I've got Tuntar in place, which means you can't play that holding. Oh, you're right. So then I have to do...
And at the end, another day, sir.
Yes, that's my favorite card. So I've been playing the starter pack with Lenny. We've done Unicorn versus Lion that I happen to own. I found it when I was cleaning out something, and so the Lion has all this stuff to do dueling to make it just terrible to fight with them. But the Unicorn has one card which is Another Time, which is literally cancels the duel. So, and you put it in your like your edge battle, or as they call it, they're focusing. and you put their edge battle / focusing, and then you flip it and you reveal another time, and then you ride off and nothing happens, and then Lenny gets mad.
Because you
It's
wasted
a
all your good
prerequisite
cards.
for Lenny to get mad.
You're like, here's all my good cards. You're screwed. I don't think so. How about this one card?
My one card, I have a horse. That instead of another time, it should have totally been called I have a horse.
Yeah.
He just leaves.
So it's kind of like Twist of Fate in Star Wars,
Yes.
which I was surprised. I don't think any of us played a Twist of Fate the other night. Last night.
That's because I don't know if my Rebel one had a Twist of Fate. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
It does. It never came up.
Yeah. I had Twist of Fate in.
All I know is I had
in a couple of my decks, and it never came up for me
I
either.
had Rebel Assaults coming out of the wazoo.
Yeah.
Oh. Rebel Assaults
Yeah.
do 2 damage. Pay 2 resources, do 2 damage. It's pretty handy.
Yeah, you use that very well against Vader's TIE Fighter.
Yeah, I was telling Matt about that. That was my highlight of that game.
Yeah.
just wait. No, I didn't use it. I used Heroic Sacrifice.
No, you used Heroic Sacrifice against it once, and you used Rebel Assault against it. It's just I was able to keep bringing it back because I had the escort carrier.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't kill. I should have.
Which was awesome.
I should have blew that up, but the problem was it had too many hit points. I'm like, I don't want to waste Rebel Assaults on that. I should have Heroic Sacrificed on that.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't have it in my hand when it came into play. I was waiting for the other one to show up, but it never showed up. It was dark times for the rebellion.
Yeah.
A lot of ships were destroyed. A lot of
Well, you destroyed a lot of TIE fighters too. Just
That's true.
FYI.
Yeah, there were a lot of those Black Squadron guys.
Yeah, a lot of those Black Squadron guys.
Thematically,
Got rid of my 181st TIE Interceptor.
It didn't make thematic sense though, because thematically, those TIE fighters, they get in those things, they're off to die, right? Like they're sent off to die. Whereas the rebels, the whole point of the rebels is that they've got these clunky, tough ships that they keep bringing back and fixing up so that they can go back out,
Are you
right?
talking to me? What can I do for
Well, you see, that's why you needed to keep your repair droid in play.
Yep.
But you ditched him.
I ditched him because I only had 1 health units everywhere
Oh, that's
at the time.
yeah, that's true.
And then later on, my 2 health units showed up, and I'm like, well, sorry, R2D2, you were too early. So, but, what was it? There was one other game thing I was going to say, video game thing.
Yeah, video games.
So, Matt, the reason why I say about Windows 10 is because I installed Windows 10 on my machine, and it seems to me, and I don't know if this is placebo effect or what, but it seems to me that Final Fantasy 13 runs much more smoothly since I've upgraded to Windows 10 than it
really?
did when I was on Windows 7. Yeah.
I have read a few articles that that says the gaming performance does improve by a slight bit.
Yeah, and it makes it like in Final Fantasy 13, a slight bit is a huge difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Because it was not the greatest port.
Well, they
Like, it was,
also had
it was
a
okay, but
They also had an update as well later that improved it. But that was back in December, I think.
yes.
It was right when 13.2 came out, because 13.2 already had that optimization.
Yeah, I haven't even tried 13.2 yet.
Well, maybe I will go to Windows 10, but I'm scared, guys.
Okay, every machine. Well, back up your machine first, but
Ugh.
every machine that I have seen upgraded to Windows 10 has been virtually flawless.
Now,
Like, very,
every
very few
machine,
issues.
are they running on Intels? Because I'm running on AMD because I went stupid and I decided to do
Okay, yeah, no, I've not encountered any AMD machines that have been upgraded.
The
They're
only
all-
problem I
They're all
had was
Intels.
my start button wouldn't work initially. I'd click it all day long and it wouldn't do anything. My
Really?
Firefox would
Sit there and click there all the time?
yeah, just all day long.
Oh, wow.
all day. I phoned
quit
into
my
work and I
job
said
so
I'm
I
not.
can-
Yeah, I phoned into work that I won't be in today. I'm clicking my start button.
And they're like,
But-
I understand.
Yeah, I understand. But the other thing I noticed was my Firefox would lock it right up.
That might
But-
just be Firefox, not.
Yeah, I just reinstalled Firefox and then it was fine.
Yeah, they updated Firefox to be more Windows 10 friendly. So
Although when I go to Google Maps on Firefox, it's just a complete black screen.
huh.
I don't know why.
That's weird.
Use Chrome.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Well, no. Use Chrome for Google Maps. Use Firefox for everything else. Use Chrome for Google
No,
Maps.
Chrome for everything.
I just click on that Microsoft Edge. I think they
Edge,
call
yeah.
it for now.
Yeah.
So, and then it displayed it fine. So that's
Well, there you go then. Yeah. Use
Is
Firefox for everything except for
How is Edge?
Maps. It's okay, but it's not as good.
What's Edge?
It's the
I
new
know-
one.
It's
It's like
the new browser. They're replacing Internet Explorer with it, but not fully yet because it's not quite mature enough at this
Well,
point.
also-
They're calling it Edge?
Yeah.
it's so they can keep the E.
Yeah.
That's probably what they did.
I don't know.
A little bit.
I've had mixed results with Bing.
Ugh,
Yeah, I don't really like Bing that
Bing
much.
is terrible. I mean, it's just gonna make me upset talking about it.
As much as Paper Please?
Papers, please. is the
Papers
name.
Please with or Netrunner? Like what's
well,
the degree?
Netrunner? Oh no, it does too. Yeah. Why are you
So
bringing up everything that makes me angry and sad?
So the other game that I've been playing a little bit on PC, which it initially had an issue after I upgraded to Windows 10, but that was a game issue that they've patched since. But it's Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky.
Legend. That sounds familiar.
It's a JRPG that originally, I don't know what system it was originally for, but there's a PSP version, but then they released it in like a HD version on Steam. So I've been playing it there, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
And Scott, there are farms in the world.
I was
In
just
fact, one of your
thinking-
first
I was
quests
just
is you have to
thinking
go and find these critters, these basically rabbits, evil rabbits that are eating some of the crops from their farm.
Was it
I just
called
thi-
Legend
I
of?
just think it's
Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky.
I was just thinking because I know with Western RPGs, like when you play Fable or you play like that style, right? Like the Western style ones, like they have the little small holdings and they have really small populations, and they've almost made it like it's a like the world isn't really a world; it's like a county of England that's not England, right? Whereas with Japanese ones, they're sort of bigger open spaces with these huge expanses of wilderness, and then there's a town. You know what I mean? And so it's just interesting, like how they envision the world, right? Like whereas the Western, I don't know how WoW is. Like I have never played WoW, so if it's like the Japanese where there's these huge expanses, or is it like
WoW has farms too, from what I've saw. WoW actually kind of has. It seems like your ecosystem looks a little. This game looks cool.
It's a lot of fun.
What's
I
it
really
called?
like it.
Sorry, was it Legend of
Heroes: Trails in the Sky.
Looks like it has like a Star Ocean combat. Is it like an action, like strategic action?
There's a sequel.
Yeah,
There's a sequel.
there is a sequel that hasn't made it over to US or
Is it
North
big,
America yet.
is it big in Japan?
Oh yeah, it's big in Japan. There's actually apparently in the series there's like 7 games.
FDR? Big in Japan?
Yes, big in Japan.
Party too hard? Woke
I
up.
feel
on-
Scott's making a joke, but I don't understand.
All right, type into Google
Oh no.
"Big in Japan," Martin Solveig.
Big in Japan.
It's a good song.
I'm just on Facebook here, and I totally just found that D&D stats explain with tomatoes.
That's awesome.
Big in Japan.
So yeah, apparently there's 7 games in the series altogether. There's 2 in the Trails in the Sky. So there's Trails in the Sky and then Trails in the Sky second chapter. And then later this year on Vita, they're coming out with Legend of Heroes Trails in Cold Steel.
Yeah, that's on here too.
Which I forget what number the game actually is, but anyways.
Is this Trails in the Sky? Is it in on the Vita or no?
Well, it's PSP, but you can play it on the Vita.
Oh, okay. You can.
Can you play it on the PlayStation? Oh, you can play it on the PlayStation 3. There you go.
Yes. Or Scott, you could also probably download it for your PSP Go.
Yeah,
for free.
I'd have to find the charge cable.
Good old...
Maybe next time you're over.
I think I have a charge cable for... I have charge cables for everything. Everything.
So D&D stats. Explained. With tomatoes. Wow, it comes up. There you go. Oh, it's on Reddit. All right.
Everything's on Reddit.
Strength is being able to crush a tomato. Dexterity is the ability to dodge a tomato. Constitution is being able to eat a bad tomato. Intelligence is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put a tomato in a fruit salad.
Oh, okay.
Charisma is being able to sell a tomato based on fruit, or a tomato-based fruit salad. And then the first comment is, a tomato-based fruit salad would simply be salsa.
Oh, that's true.
And then someone below that records, hey guys, I think that he's a bard.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, that's. And then it degenerates into chicken jokes.
Because I'm wearing headphones.
All right, I gotta go to bed soon.
Yeah, I was thinking I gotta go.
Are you done recording this awesome conversation?
Yes.